I'm getting hangry right now. Alright, so today we're going to be doing a full face on this look using all drugstore makeup. This is pretty much half products that I use and love and half new stuff that I'm just like trying out. It is the morning after I got back from London, so I'm 99% jet lagged right now, but makeup fixes everything. Pretty sure about 80% of my favorite holy grail makeup is drugstore makeup, and I've done a couple drugstore makeup starter kit videos, but let me know if you guys would want to see like a full face using my favorite drugstore makeup or something along those lines, because I feel like I mention them a ton in videos, but just to have one video talking about everything might be nice. I don't know, let me know if you want to see that down below. It's going to be the same stuff I've talked about 50 billion times, but there are lots of new Bayritos here, so it might be time. If you enjoy this video while you're watching, you can give it a thumbs up. It helps me out. I appreciate it. And let's jump into it. If you want to see how I got this full drugstore look, you're in the right place. Just keep watching. So I've already primed my face using the Revlon Photo Ready Pore Reducing Primer. I'm still trying out foundations for the wrap-up video for 15 days of foundation, so I'm going to be mixing the Catrice HD Liquid Coverage in the lightest shade Light Beige, which is too dark. So I'm going to mix it with the LA Girl Pro Coverage because this one is a bit illuminating and it's obviously a white foundation, so it's going to lighten it. I washed my hair. I feel like every time I wash my hair I have to tell you guys because it's like big news. I feel like my real hair is finally like getting back to being shiny and healthy. Only took like a year. Definitely should have gotten coffee. What was I thinking? All of the stuff I'm going to be using today is in a really classy cardboard box. Whoops, that was probably too much. I have a whole video comparing different white foundation mixers, so I'll put that in the little eye. All right, let's go in. I think I'm gonna use, yeah, let's try brush first. This is actually the Sigma F83, which is like the weird curved one. I used this in the first impressions video that's already live, and oddly enough, I've been actually really liking this. This foundation is so freaking matte. I think I mixed that a little bit light. I'm gonna add in a tiny bit more of the drops because I did mix that a little bit light. I know this mic battery is gonna die soon, so I keep checking it like every 10 seconds. My skin was breaking out so bad in London, of course. Of course I had a good like week and a half before, and then as soon as I got to London, I got like the most massive breakouts everywhere. That's kind of crazy because this stuff usually like makes your skin friggin' glow, and my face still looks very matte. So for under eye concealer, I want to try out the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow. I haven't tried this out yet. This is the lightest shade and it looks hella dark. This is in the shade 01 Classic Ivory. I mean, you can just see this compared to my face. This is pretty dark. What I'm going to do to lighten it is mix in some of the NYX HD Photogenic Concealer in Lavender. I've been using this for years to lighten my concealer. Even though this is lavender, it's awesome for lightening concealer. I know that NYX makes a new lightest shade in this concealer that's actually super light, I think, but I don't have that, so I'm just going to be using this one. I don't know how much coverage this has or anything. Whoa. This is making my eyes burn. See if it does it on this eye. It has a really strong chemical scent. I don't know if that's what's making my eyes burn. I'm gonna try and put this on since it's already on. Off the bat, I don't think I would use this again because my eyes are like burning. Have you guys had that happen with this concealer, or is it just me? Very light coverage, even with that NYX mixed in. Okay, I don't like how that looks at all. Very sheer. I'm going to add in some of the Maybelline Fit Me concealer. This is in the shade 15 because 15 is actually lighter than 10. So if you've tried 10 and it was too dark, try 15. I mean 15, I still usually have to mix. Also, I can always lighten my under eyes with powder afterwards. This concealer is bomb, by the way. I haven't used it in a long time, but it's always a good one. Definitely one of my favorite drugstore concealers. I just need to come out with more shades. I always get questions about the Physicians Formula setting powders I use for my under eyes because it's kind of tricky, the shade and coloring and stuff. So the one that you want to use if you're fair, if you're like lighter than I am, this one I can totally use on its own just depending on what foundation I'm wearing and stuff. But this one is like the one you want to go to if you're very fair. This is the Mineral Wear Correcting Powder in Translucent. Shades are all weird and it's really easy to buy the wrong one, but it's like this correcting powder. So there's different colors in here. And then just to darken a little bit, I'll tap a little bit of the Mineral Face Powder in Translucent Light. So that's what this one is. Press it underneath the eyes. The e.l.f. brush I used to always use, I still use this one. I've just been really liking to. This is by Smashbox. It's their full coverage foundation brush, but this is the kind of brush I usually like for my eyes because I feel like it gives the most flawless finish for me. It doesn't like take away any of the coverage. Ooh, maybe I need to go back to that Maybelline concealer. My under eyes are looking good right now. I'm not going to set the rest of my face because this really sets down. What are we doing? I'm going to prime the eyes using the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Concealer. This is the concealer I use on my like no makeup days just to cover my acne. It just blends into my skin so easily. But I also really like this as an eye primer. I feel like this is one of the best drugstore eye primers, even though it's not technically an eye primer. You can use the correcting one if you want, or just this shade. This is in the shade Fair. So for brows, I want to try out this Jcat brow stylist set. These are like the NYX kind of squeeze tube brow products. It looks like there's brown and dark brown in here, and it comes with a brush. This reminds me of like Benefit packaging. So Jcat you can get on ULTA. ULTA carries most of their products now. I think some of the new releases it takes a little bit longer to get. What's on my hand? It takes a little bit longer to get onto ULTA. I'm gonna squeeze a little bit of this out on the palette. I'm gonna try the brush just by the feel of it. I don't have high hopes, but let's try it. It's a little bit hard with this brush to get like a clean outer line, so I think I'm gonna switch to my BH brush. It feels super lightweight, if that makes sense. Like, it doesn't feel quite as heavy as a gel product like the Dip Brow or anything. I definitely got way too much product out. You need like the tiniest amount. I almost think the nozzle of this, it's a little bit hard to just get a small amount out. So that's the dark brown color compared to the brown shade. So most of the face products I'm using today are ones that I have used and I love, and then the eyes, we're trying out a bunch of new stuff. So for bronzer, I'm gonna use the e.l.f. St. Lucia. I love this shade right here. Whoops, right here. I'm gonna take my Flower Beauty brush. Whoops, just got way too much. I feel like this is a really nice bronzer tone where it's not too warm or too orangey. Something I've been doing lately though is if you do have a bronzer that you feel like looks too warm, take the same powder brush that you use or sponge or something. I'm just gonna use powder brush. If you used a face powder, you don't need to apply anymore, but just take a little bit of a powder foundation. I'm just using that darker Physicians Formula one, and you can pat it over and it kind of just blends everything out and like tones it down. It just neutralizes the tone a little bit. I think I want a little bit more contour and definition for my cheekbones, so I'm going to take the L'Oreal Glam Bronze in 01 Light Pale. I think this was originally going to be like a limited edition, and then I've seen it in stores again, so I don't know if they brought it back, but I've seen it lately, so I figured we'd use it in a video. A little bit of contour. By the way, if you do want to set your face and you like a matte finish, I've been loving the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Powder. This is in shade 05. This looks awesome over the Milk Makeup Foundation. I did a whole video showing you guys how I use this with the Milk Makeup Blur Liquid Foundation. There's the Makeup for Photos video, and this powder can just look friggin' flawless. Oh, blush, I almost forgot. Okay, let's go in with the Physicians Formula Butter Blush in the shade Rosy Pink. I'm actually just gonna use that same brush. This is a Sigma F15. It's a really pretty like airbrushed finish. I love the Physicians Formula Butter Blushes, the smell of them, the finish, the way they blend out. Again, just gonna blend. This is the Furless CB4 brush. One of my all-time favorite highlighters, I have a whole video on my favorite highlighters, but this is definitely one of them. This is the e.l.f. Illuminating Palette. This shade right here, I'm in love with. Now that I'm looking at my face more, I think this eyebrow color is a little bit too warm for what I usually like. I do like the formula, but I think it might be a little tiny bit too red. I'm gonna go with that lightest shade of this. Oh my god. So pretty. This is one of those highlighters that always looks flattering. Whoa. Highlighter mustache. I also love how it looks on the tip of the nose. So I think I want to do like a shimmery army green kind of eye because I have some products here that I was swatching last night and they looked friggin' unreal. First off, I have these matte L'Oreal single shades, which are like perfect fall tones. Single eyeshadows I never really reach for or buy because I feel like it doesn't really make sense price-wise to me when you can just buy a palette, and I also don't really like having a bunch of single eyeshadows laying around. It's easier to just have everything in a palette. But I was swatching these, and I don't know if this is a new formula or what. These are the L'Oreal Matte Color Riche eyeshadows, and they are so soft, so buttery. So I'm excited to try these. If you are going to be buying any kind of drugstore makeup in general, but especially something like this, I would definitely wait until L'Oreal goes on sale. The drugstore rotates around the brands they put on sale, so I rarely buy anything at the drugstore full price. If you're going to be buying something, just wait till it goes on sale. L'Oreal a lot of the times does buy one get one half off. Rite Aid sometimes does like 40% off L'Oreal. But I'm going to start out with this shade 302 Matte. This shade looks pretty close to my skin tone. I'm like half out of my travel makeup bag right now, and then half of my brushes are somewhere else. I'm gonna try this one. If this is too light as a transition shade, which I kind of have a feeling it might be, I'm just gonna use the same contour shade. Yeah, it is. Skip that one. I'm gonna take the same contour shade we used and just put that in the crease. Now I'm gonna take this shade, which I am so excited about. Oh my god, okay. This is the shade 304. It is like this rich camel brown kind of shade. I'm gonna pop this into the crease a bit. By the way, I tried to get these off my hand last night after I was swatching them. Even with my oil-based makeup remover, I had a hard time getting these off, so I feel like these would probably last really well throughout the day. Now that I'm back from the trip and I'm like back into filming every day, ready for these lash extensions to be off just so I can wear falsies again. When you do a full-on makeup look, false lashes just add a little something something. Oh my god. All of these shades are just like fall in full force. This is the shade 306. It's showing up way more red on camera. Yeah, it looks straight up red on camera, but in real life it's like the exact same color as my shirt almost. Oh my god. These are blending out beautifully. Now I'm going to take the shade 308, this super rich brown. I'm just popping this into kind of the outer V in the crease a little bit, just deepen it up. And I am going to be putting that green shade on the lid. What you guys don't see is 20 minutes of friggin' blending. So this thing is what I'm so excited to try. This is by Jcat. It's a new Prismetal Chrome Eye Mousse. This one is in the shade Houdini. This is a really weird formula. It's like a cream, super bouncy. I'm just gonna tap this on my lid. Some of the shades of these I swatched were more sheer. Okay, definitely applies better with your finger. I mean, it's super pretty, very reflective. I don't like it quite as much as the Makeup Revolution ones. I think it could be a little bit more opaque. I'm like building this up quite a bit. I'm gonna blend the 304 shade down on the lower lash line. I am gonna do a winged liner today, but I think I wanna do brown. I feel like that'll look nice. Lately, I've been really liking using the Morphe E43 brush. It's just like a flat edge liner brush and going in with a dark brown. So I'm gonna go back in with 306, push this right up next to my lash line. Just makes your eyes pop a bit more. So also by Jcat, they came out with these holographic 3D toppers. This is in the shade So Poppy and it's like this reddish kind of copper color. I just have to swatch this for you. Look at that shine. So I think I might actually use that same brush and dip into this on the back. Oh, that dried really fast. Right below that other shade. For the inner corner, let's just stick with the Jcat theme. I'm gonna use this Triple Crown Baked Eyeshadow. These are so pretty. I might mix these two kinda. Oh my god, so pretty. I kind of want to try cleaning up that line with powder. I've seen a few people doing that and I'm just curious. I'm gonna take this e.l.f. brush because it's the closest thing to like a flat edge brush I can find right now, and I'm actually gonna use the loose Maybelline Fit Me powder I mentioned. This is supposed to be like kind of an alternative to taping off your lids, your eyes, just to clean up the line. I'm gonna just keep that on for a second while I do the other one. This brush is curved, so not the easiest. I think a straight edge brush would be easier. I'm basically just taking it a little bit out from my outer corner because I don't want to make it look smaller. Okay, now I'm gonna brush it away. Oh, I like that. It looks a lot softer than using tape. I generally like doing my eyeshadow after foundation, just what I like to do. I almost want to add a little bit of this as a face highlighter. Let's do it. I think I'm just gonna mix the two lightest shades right here. It's definitely there now. I want to try out this L'Oreal Super Slim liner. This is a brown liner in the shade Brown. I like that this is more of like a deep brown. Do I want to wing this? I might just actually kind of smudge it out on the end. I'm just going to put a tiny bit on the Morphe B19. Like I'm just going to put it right on here. Let's go in with some lower lash line mascara. My favorite is Wet n Wild Mega Length. It doesn't transfer down to my concealer. Has a nice wand for the lower lashes. Been using it for years. So for lips, L'Oreal came out with these new, I think these are new, Infallible Pro Matte Liquid Lipsticks. Have not tried these yet. And the shades look so nice and so fall. So I want to use one of these. They look kind of similar in the tube. 358 Cowboy, and then the darker one is 352 Shakedown. I might actually do Shakedown and Cowboy. I hope these dry down. They feel really soft and buttery like the L'Oreal lip gloss I love. The wand is a little bit hard for a liquid lipstick. It's just a little bit flimsy. These must take a while to dry down because this is not matte at all. Let's try Cowboy. Oh yeah, that's the color I'm going for. So when you first put these on, they feel super moisturizing and quite sticky. So I'm gonna see how long this takes to dry down. It does say they are pro matte. So it has now been 15 minutes. I took some Instagram photos, and even after 15 minutes, you can see it's still not totally matte, and it's also very sticky. I like my liquid lipsticks to dry down so I don't have to worry about them. I don't have to think about them. This has been transferring to my teeth this whole time, and I can also just feel it. Like my lips feel like they're kind of like sticking together. But this is the final look. I'm gonna have everything I used linked down below in the description box, along with my necklaces, t-shirt, nail polish. Everything is always down below in the description box. I think out of everything, I'm most into the matte eyeshadows. Obviously the face stuff I used, I love and I've used before. This, I don't know, I kind of have mixed feelings on this. I don't think it's like the best formula. It worked and I don't think it looks bad. You just kind of have to work with it a little bit. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up. The London vlog is going to be coming. Actually, when this video goes up, I think you guys will be having it as a bonus video this week. Wrap-up video for 15 days of foundation will be coming this Friday, the 29th. Love you guys. Thanks for watching. See you in my next video. Bye.